you started to attend on Góilín, it was Thomas House was the venue?
The Thomas House was the venue, and I think we had a sort of a nomadic existence. Like, you know, it seems to, somebody said once that the best way to close a pub was get the Góilín into it. It closed fairly quickly. It did, actually, because we went to the Thomas House and then we were over in the Four Seasons at the top of Capel Street. We were there for a good few years, and the landlady there, I can't remember her name, but we had a nickname for her, which I won't repeat. But we arrived one Friday night, I remember, and the pub was closed.
Yeah.
And nobody had said anything, the pub was closed. So then we ended up that night, I think, going to the Brazen Head, and we got into a back room in the Brazen Head, and we had the club. And then it was there for a few weeks, and then I think the Four Seasons, for whatever reason, opened up again, and we were there again. And then the pub did definitely close full time, and we moved around. And I think the next place we were was Corbett's in Werber Street, just across the road from the Labour Exchange, across from St. Werber's Church. Corbett's there, and we were there for a good number of years. I think we had about 10, maybe 11 years there. That was great. That was, I still think that was the best venue we ever had. We were treated so well by the people in the place, and just it was a lovely venue. I have great memories of great nights there, and like one of the questions you were saying about a great night, one of the best nights, and I'd never heard her live before, was Margaret Barry. And Dot Callery and our partner Alec used to come to the club, and she said, would we be interested in having Margaret Barry? And I remember we saying, of course we will, you know. But at the time she had very bad emphysema, and she couldn't breathe, so she would sing a song and then say, go away for a while now and sing a few songs and come back to me again. And so that's the way her night went. Yeah. She sang a song, we had about 2 or 3 songs from other singers, and then we come back to her and so forth, and it was a great night. That's one of the good nights. But they were by far 9 or 10 years, and that was when the pudding night, the tradition of the pudding night started, because, and I remember I was working late in Dublin City Council and on the night before the pudding night, and I remember come in, and at the time I was one of the organisers at the club, and there was a queue down the stairs in Corbett's, and I was trying to come up and I said, hey, get in the queue. It's not going to happen unless I get up there with the rest. And Alan myself got up, like, you know. So yeah, that was so Corbett's, and then Corbett's closed for various reasons, and we were in various places temporarily, and the next place that we were for a good long time was the Trinity Inn. Mm-hmm. And we were there for a good number of years, and we had, and yet again, that pub closed. He sold the pub, and we were sort of, he told us that was going to happen, but it happened very quickly then. And we went to the Ferryman for a while, and we sort of stayed there for a while, and then the owner of the Ferryman wanted us to suspend the club in the period running up to Christmas, because you could get more money from people for Christmas parties than the club. And I said, but you're here every Friday, and so with people point Rick, he said, what your people would spend on drink wouldn't even pay the barman. So we just we went out then, and that's when we went to the Trinity Inn, and then we were in about 4 weeks in Bowes there in Fleet Street, and I never came across such aggression coming across the bar from the people behind the bar. They didn't want us there. Not the management wanted us there, but the bartenders, they didn't want us there at all. And we got out of that, and we went Maze then for a good number of years, and then there was sort of a little problem there in Maze, and we went back to start. It was the first year of the Frank Hart Festival, not the second year of the Frank Hart Festival, and we went to start it. And we went about a week before the club was due to start. I got a phone call from I think it was Andrew, or maybe it was Anne Buckley, and she said Tom May is trying to contact you. And when I rang, I got Tom's wife Anne, and she said, no, we're not letting you the room anymore. We're going to turn it into flats, which they hadn't, but they just didn't want to stay anymore. That's when we went back to the Teachers Club. We had been in the Teachers Club for various times when we didn't have a venue, and that's when we went back to the Teachers Club. And I have to say, we're in the Teachers Club now since 2007, and we have been treated by nothing but the very best by the man there, Tyke McFadgin. And the nice thing about the Teachers Club is that he's very happy for us to be there, and if there's only 2 of us or 3 of us there singing songs, that just makes no difference in the world. He's into what we're into. The singing and stuff like that, like, you know.
And so, do you think that's the primary factor in what makes a good venue? Is the attitude of?
I think it's the attitude is so important. Like, you see, in a pub, you're just totally at the behest of the publican, like, you know. And if you're not putting enough bums on seats, he just doesn't want you there because like it's costing him money. Although if you get a pub where there's nobody going to be there on a Friday night, they're probably quite happy to have you there. Having 20 of you there is better than having nobody there, you know. But so it is very important, and I think that somebody who understands what's going on at the club is important. Corbett's fantastic, yeah, and great nights. The various birthday parties, and my other memories would be the various Góilín trips to Paris. We went to Paris twice, and we had trips down to West Clare, up to Inishowen and Donegal, to Waterford, to Ring. And that was great, and we combined, you know, I also teach dancing, and we combined a few of the trips with Brooks Academy, a joint Góilín Brooks Academy trip, and West Kerry too, and it was absolutely wonderful, great, like the whole thing just seemed to gel, like, and yeah, no, they were great, they were great events as I would see them. Sort of nights when, like, you might have 12, 14 people at the club, and it's a bit hard on nights like that. You get to sing more songs, but very hard to generate an atmosphere, but you do your best and you keep it going. And I've been involved now for a while, and I sort of realised that it's all peaks and valleys, and it's a cyclical thing, like it goes in cycles. We have our high points and we have our low points, and you just keep going right through them.